Chapter 11. When Astra woke up the next morning in her usual spot on the floor in the sleeping bag, she immediately sprang up to wake Emma. But Emma was already gone. On her pillow was a note. Dear Astra and Libby, I found the bag of sea stuff. I don't know how you did it, but thank you so much. I'm going straight to school to finish the sculpture, so meet me there. Love, Emma. P.S. I told my family about the art show last night. Fingers crossed that they make it. Good morning, Astra, said Emma's mom when Astra and Libby entered the dining room. And nice to meet you, Libby. Emma told me you would be staying over. Is she sleeping in this morning? She already left for the art show, said Astra. She looked at the family, all eating bowls of cereal around the table. So you all are going to come, right? Eva yawned. Ellie and I have practice this morning, she said. And Mom and Dad, you promised you were going to come watch us. I did, Emma's dad said, nodding. I guess I'll have to go see Emma's art another time. Astra gulped. This wasn't exactly going the way she had imagined. Emma's dad stood and headed into the kitchen to refill his coffee cup. Astra followed him. She knew how to make him come to the show. It wasn't ideal, but she couldn't be choosy at that point. She cleared her throat, and Emma's dad glanced at her. Looking deep into his eyes, she said, You are going to Emma's art show this morning. He frowned. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, he said. You heard the girls. I promised to go to their gymnastics practice. Astra stood there blinking. The rules of hypnotizing adults were very confusing. She followed him back into the dining room. Libby looked at her hopefully, and Astra shook her head. Libby grimaced. Astra could feel herself getting angrier and angrier. This wasn't fair to Emma at all. Her family had all the time in the world for gymnastics, but they couldn't be bothered to go to her art show? That was wrong. Before she realized what she was doing, she slammed her hand down on the dining room table. Listen up, she said. Everyone stared at her open-mouthed. Elizabeth had been about to put some cereal into her mouth, and the spoon hovered in midair. This is really important to Emma. The most important thing in her life, believe it or not. She has given up so much to do what you guys like, gymnastics, and she did an amazing job yesterday. But art is her passion, and it would really mean so much to have you all there. You have to be there. The family looked at each other. I guess we could leave practice early, said Eva reluctantly. If it's that important to Emma, we'll be there, said her father. But Saturday mornings are my only days to watch cartoons, whined Elizabeth. Too bad, short stuff, said Ellie. Emma is always there for us. Now it's our turn to be there for her. Emma's mom put her hand on top of Astra's. Thank you, Astra, she said simply. Now you can sit down and eat. Phew! Astra felt relieved. After breakfast, she and Libby ran upstairs to get dressed, then headed to the school. Now all that was left was to make sure Emma's sculpture was finished in time. When they arrived, Ms. Gonzalez, the art teacher, was there as well. Hello, she said when she saw Astra and Libby. I am so thrilled that Emma is going to enter the contest. I gather you two had something to do with it. Astra smiled and nodded. Her sculpture is wonderful, the teacher continued. So evocative of the sea and childhood diversions. Yeah, said Astra. Exactly. Emma turned to the two girls proudly. The mermaid was nearly finished. She wore a necklace of crab claws. 2 large scallop shells served as her bikini top. Her tail was covered with a stunning mosaic of shells, pieces of seaweed, and sea glass. It was star-tacularly beautiful. Miss Gonzalez glanced at her watch. "I've got to go and welcome the judges," she said. "The show begins in 10 minutes, and all entries must be registered beforehand, so please don't be late." "I'll be done in a minute," said Emma distractedly. She squinted at the sculpture. Something is missing. She grabbed some of the ribbony seaweed and artfully entwined it in the mermaid's flowing hair. Astra grinned. "That's it! Perfect!" It took the three of them to lift the sculpture and carry it down the hallway toward the auditorium. "Be careful! Don't drop her!" Astra said warningly. When they successfully reached the auditorium, she peered through the doors, where she could see Ms. Gonzalez, chatting with the judges and looking around nervously for Emma. "Here we come," said Astra. She leaned her back against the door and pushed it, but it wouldn't budge. "Hurry, Astra! This is getting heavy," said Libby. Astra pushed again. Then, after making sure the two girls could hold the sculpture on their own, she let go of it and pulled. She tried the other door. "I can't open it," she cried. "This is the only way in," Emma said. "It's got to open." Emma looked at the clock on the wall. "We're running out of time," she cried. Libby took a step backward. There was a strange, sickly gray mist surrounding the door handle. What in the world? She touched the mist and shivered. "It's so cold," she said, rubbing her hands on her skirt for warmth. "What's going on?" asked Emma. "I can't see." Something very strange was going on. It was almost as if something, or someone, was deliberately trying to keep them out. Emma was near tears. "We're going to miss registration," she said. "We have to get in there." Just then, Libby got a funny look on her face. "I'm not quite sure why I am doing this," she said. "But reach into my pocket." Astra did, and her fingers closed around an angular pink stone, Libby's power crystal. "Put it on the door," instructed Libby. "Put what on the door?" asked Emma, her view blocked by the large sculpture. "What is going on?" To Astra's and Libby's amazement, the gray mist shrank back and disappeared. "What's happening?" Emma demanded. "What are you doing?" Before they could figure out how to answer her, the door opened with a snap. The Star Darlings looked at each other. They had no idea what had just happened, but they realized it was something very big indeed. Would Emma's wish come true? Or was Astra destined to be a wish energy failure?